My stepdaughter is upset that I'm in the marital home with my daughter and she has to live with her biological mom. My ex and I got together 12 years ago. Moved in a year after that, married the following year. We were in the home he purchased a couple years before getting together with me. From the time I moved in, we either split finances equally or I paid for the majority of everything while he was out of work. In 2019, my husband's mental health declined, he became violent, had affairs, and was arrested multiple times. I did everything possible to keep our family together, but he had no interest in helping himself, so for safety's sake I filed for a restraining order in 2022. My 3 stepchildren's biological mother lives less than 15 minutes away, and she's had full legal custody since the start of all of this in 2019. The kids were still visiting us and staying with us at the home several nights a week, but after I filed the RO they moved in full-time with their bio mom. My shared daughter with my husband stayed with me. My SD, F15, reached out recently to say that she was upset I was still in the house when she couldn't be, that she and her siblings were there first. She also pointed out that I seem much happier and more upbeat since all of this has happened. Very true, the abuse was a nightmare, but that she has lost everything and that's not fair. She told me that living with her mother is unsafe, there have never been safety or parenting concerns with bio mom, so I'm genuinely not sure what the deal is there, and that if her dad had the house back, she could be there. She seemed to think the house was only her dad's, so I clarified that it belonged to both of us and we're sorting it out through the courts as to what will happen next. She kept insisting that she knows the courts take time, but that she needs something to happen immediately because she's lost everything and it doesn't make sense why her half-sister and I get everything. I asked her what she feels like should happen and she thinks that because she and her older siblings, M17, M20 who lives out of state for uni, lived at the house first that her dad should be able to stay there so they can go there when they want to. I was pretty blunt that her dad alone made the choices that got him arrested and removed from the home, and that crushed all of us in different ways. While she's aware of some of the things her father has done and agrees that he screwed up on a lot of different levels, she kept asking what's the difference between her and her half-sister that means her half-sister and I get to be here. I told her the only difference was the custody. Her mother has custody of her and lives where she lives, so SD and her siblings went to the house they were already living in, and I have custody of her half-sister, so we stayed in the house we were already living in. In her mind, none of this is her fault so she shouldn't be affected at all, and while I agree in theory, how do you practically tell a teenager that sorry, your dad screwed you and I'm not picking up and moving myself and my daughter so my abusive, dangerous ex can take over our home and have you over a few nights a week? It seems like no matter how we talk this through she is stuck on the fact that it's not fair for her, and I have the power to fix it. How do I have this conversation with her without making her feel like she's not important or that she's less important than her half-sister?